Okay, so we started off, or we left off, so we left off here where we were iterating through all the files in a directory, but we were not able to recursively iterate through all the subdirectories. So this os read dir function oops, I believe there's no option to recursively whoops. There's no option to recursively go through it all. So read dir. Okay, so where's the read directory? Yeah, so all we can give it is a string. We can't give it an option to recursively just keep on going. So I think we're gonna have to do that part ourselves. Which is fine. We can do that. We can work that out. So this directory entry, right? This is a directory entry is an entry read from a directory. Read fs dir entry. Read directory reads the contents of the directory associated with the file and returns a slice of directory entry values in directory order. Okay, well, whoops, that keeps on. Okay, here we go. Here's the definition of it, or here's the interface. So here's what we can do with it. So we can get the name, which is what we're doing already. So here we're printing out file.name for each of these entries. But we have this one here to report whether the entry is a directory or not. Is directory. So this one could be interesting. I think if we're going to write, we're going to need to write some kind of like nested for loop or some recursive function where we keep on iterating through everything, and if it's a directory, we do the same thing. So all right, let's just start by adding this part in here. So print out the file name, and then format print line file dot is dir. Okay, so now that's going to be a boolean. So hopefully this print function smart enough to change a boolean to a string and print it out somehow. Let's just see if it'll do that. Go build that. Okay. And image sorter. Yeah. Okay. So it gives it true or false. That's nice. It changes a boolean to a string. So we know that these are both directories. So let's just give it one additional. Let's give it one additional loop. So let's chuck an if statement in here. So if now, how do you write if statements in Go? Golang if statement. Okay. So, if the like for the if statement can start with a short statement to execute before the condition. Oh, okay. So you can set something up beforehand. Variables declared by the statement are only in scope until the end of the if. Okay, so right, so if we set this v variable here, we need to return it because otherwise it's gone. So, okay. I mean, do we need to uh do we need that? We really just need a basic if statement. Um, yeah, I mean, this is all we need. Uh, okay, so if this else, okay, so if and do they go in parentheses? No, they're just out there. So if file is dir, then yeah, we chuck it in these curly braces. Okay, so if a file is a directory, let's get rid of this other one that we added here. Then it's a directory. So let's do I mean, do we do the same thing? Read the directory and then do another for loop. Okay, so all right, let's just chuck this in here. This is not good. This is messy. We'll fix it up. But just to see what we're doing, so go again if it's a directory. Okay, so just so we can see what we're doing, we'll tidy this up later and make it a recursive function. But just to get an idea, we'll do the same thing here. So files error equals. Now we only do equals here because we've already assigned it at this point here. So oh, we're gonna lose. Yeah, we're gonna lose the rest of the files here if we rename it though, or if we reassign values to it. So, all right. I mean, let's just keep going. So os read dir and then source. All right. Let's give it a new. Okay. All right. Let's keep it as it is. So read the directory. Now this time we're doing. Ooh, how do we concatenate strings in Go? So I mean, what we want to do is we want to have files. No, we want to have source directory, but then we also want to add the latest file to it as well. The latest file name. Now I don't know how we concatenate these strings. How do we add these two strings together? But that's kind of what we want to do because then we can grab that. Concatenate strings in Golang. Okay. So, oh, can you just do that? Can you just add them together? The plus operator. Okay. I mean, that's simple enough. Okay. Just thinking though, can concatenate strings in Golang, but I mean, what about file path? I think there's got to be, yeah, file path join. There's got to be like a lot of languages do that where they'll have a separate way of doing it for file paths. Because then, yeah, then it makes it a lot easier. So, um, so did I see? Okay, join. Okay, joins any number of path elements into a single path, separating them with an OS specific separator. So that's like / or \. Oh yeah, on Windows, that's a different thing. Okay, so either like / or \. So um, yeah, here we go. Okay, so path file path. Let's use that. So let's add it to our imports here. Oops. So path file path, and then we can use it file path.join, and then we just separate them with a comma. Okay, so read directory, yeah, file path join source directory and file name. Okay, I think that's what we want. Am I missing a yes? Okay, so we need one more parentheses to close that parenthesis. Okay, so all right, so if the file is a directory, let's go one step further and we'll do the same. So we'll get the files of that directory, and then we can do the same thing. We'll do another for loop. So for file in range files, format print line file name. Okay, so remember this is, oops, wait, we need to close that as well. Okay, so remember this is very, very messy. This is not the way we're going to do it. This is just an experiment. So we should go we go, well, I think we'll just hit the first file here. We'll see that it's a directory, and then we'll go another directory down. So let's build this, go build it. Oh, okay, so we've got an error here. Line 27, undefined source directory. Was it 27? Undefined source directory. Oh, I just spelled it wrong. Okay, so missing a C. Go build, and now it builds okay. So image sorter exe. Cool. Okay. All right. This is more interesting now. So, okay. It looks like it has found. Okay, so we've got this. This was the first directory here, right? So we found that, and then we entered that directory. Let me bring it up so you can see next to it. Where was it? Pictures. No, sorry. It's in okay, Explorer. That just makes it easier. Okay, so photos here. Okay, so now we found this directory here. That's that one there. And then we went through all of these. So 1331, 1337, found all of those photos. And then it went to unsorted, and it went through all of those as well. I mean, there's only one in there, but it found that too. Okay, I mean, that surprises me. Uh, let's look at why that is. So, um, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I see, I would have thought that reassigning the files here and here. I mean, first of all, I thought we wouldn't be, I thought it might complain here that we're assigning a value to a variable that already exists, but I guess that's, yeah, that's okay. Although here, this is interesting. So this file's variable here isn't overriding this one. Um, so okay, I mean, so this gives us one layer of recursion, right? But I mean, is it going to give us a second layer? I don't think so. I think if we go folder test and then let's just add a copy of this one in here and uh, let's just call it photo, right? So now we've got another layer here in the unsorted one. So unsorted test, I don't think it's going to go into test. Let's try it out though. It did. It went to test. Oh, okay, right. Yeah. So it went to the test directory, but it didn't go into that one. So yeah, okay. So we have whoops. We have the limit here of yeah. So I mean we could do the same thing. We could add another if statement in here. So if that's a directory, then do the same thing. Uh, but it's getting silly now. So this is the point where we turn this into a recursive function. So let's see. We've got our main function here. We can add another function. Let's add it before it. So func, uh, and let's just call it list directory list dir recursive. All right, list dir recursive. Okay, so here's our function. All right, so yeah, so we're gonna need to call this function here is gonna have to call itself. So this is how we get to this recursive point of view where instead of continually nesting if statements and for loops, this just calls itself. So um, yeah, so um, what we're gonna have to do first of all is we're gonna have to take a parameter here. So I mean, how do we do that in Go? Go function. Okay, so a function can take 0 or more arguments. In this example, add takes 2 parameters of type int. Note that the type comes after the variable name. So, okay, so variable name type. In this case, we have 2. And this must be the return type here. Okay, so um, okay, so uh, I mean, what do we want to take? I think we probably want to take the path, right? Um, yeah, so directory path, um, and then what we want to do is we want to get that. So we want to um, yeah, so we'll get the files here. Let's call them entries. Files seems like the wrong name. I know the official Go documentation called it that, but I kind of prefer entries because like well actually yeah, I mean I suppose with in Linux everything is a file. Is that the same in Windows? I don't know. Um, okay, anyway. So entries error OS read there. Oh, another question. Should this be a capital L here for list directory recursive? Main is lowercase, but should this one be? What did they do here? Okay, that's lowercase. I think there's something to that, but we'll come back to it another time. Because here, see how this is uppercase. Anyway, we can come back to that. So, OS read dir and then dir path. Okay, so we grab the entries and then iterate over entries. And here we have entry, sorry, wait a minute. Uh, yeah, okay. So let me just get rid of that. Um, so iterate over entries. So actually, sorry. Let me chuck this up here. Iterate over entries in their path. Okay, now let's handle the error. So if error is not nil, log fatal. So log it out. Then for no, what do we call it? I guess we can call it whatever we want. Let's call it entry range entries. Okay, now here's a question. Do we print out the name of directories as well, or do we only print out the name of files? Um, I think we only print out the name of files because we can we can append the full directory path to it. um, yeah, we can append the full directory path to it so that we get everything. So let me just, yeah, okay. So format print line and um, let's use the file path join and we'll give it the directory path and then entry dot um, sorry, entry dot name. Okay. All right. Let's do that for now. And let me remove all of this. Oops. Um, and sorry, my Vim skills are not that good. I know there's a faster way to do this. Okay. So let's call this function now. So list the recursive. Now this function is not finished, so um, yeah. So we'll come back and finish it, but oh, that needs to be a string. We need to give it the type there. Yeah, so we'll come back and finish this, but I just want to uh, demonstrate that we can iterate through all of the entries in there and give them the full file path. So all right, let's build that. And okay, so you see, yeah, so you see how we've got this in here now. I think we do this rather than actually listing out the directories. So I'll remove this so it doesn't happen, but we'll recursively go through these and then we'll see all the files that are in that directory because we'll have the full path with it. So uh, again, my aliases are not set up. Okay, so we get the first round, but actually what we want to do is if entry is directory, then we don't actually want to output the name. What we want to do is we want to call this again. So list dir recursive. So we're calling we're calling itself, and we're going to go through again. So we've got to give it the directory path, in which case we'll have file path join, and then we'll give it the existing directory path and whoops, path and then entry name. Okay, um, so we give it the directory that it's found, and then it will come back here and run this again and go through all of the entries in there. Anytime it finds one that's not a directory, it should print it out here with the full file path. So let's run this, let's build this, and make sure that we haven't made any mistakes. Okay, so far so good. And then let's run it. And there we go. Okay, so I think it looks like it's working. So it's found this first directory here. Here's all the files in that one. Oh, it's still showing the directory though. So yeah, we need to fix that up. But it is then going into the other one, and here it's recursive now. So it's now going into that test directory there and getting the second layer. So we have achieved our goal of recursively going through. However, this here is still outputting the directory name. So we need to put that in an else. Whoops. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I need to improve my Vim skills. Okay, so if it's a directory, recursively, so call this function again. So we recursively iterate. Otherwise, it's not a directory, so just print out the name. So that should fix up that issue there. Let's test this out. We can build this. Build's okay, so everything's good. And now let's run the exe, and there we go. Okay, so now we're not getting the directory printed out. It's just printing out the files, going into this directory here, printing out that file there, and then going into that one there, into the next one. Cool. So we've achieved our goal. We can list out all the files there. Now this is not. Yeah, this is. I don't know what we should do as far as memory management goes. So the problem with the recursive function is that if we give it too much, like if we're trying to iterate through too many directories, it's going to die at some point. It's not going to have enough memory. It'll just keep on adding and adding and adding to it. So yeah, maybe in the future we'll need to look at how to safely handle that a bit better. But for now, it kind of works. So so we've kind of achieved what we're trying to do here. It's not the cleanest code. There's a lot of things that we need to go back and fix up, but yeah, we're getting to the point where we can list out everything. So next steps is we need to hash all of these files and then save them in some kind of directory. So we could either do that, or we could start looking at making this a bit nicer. We could fix the arguments. So yeah, let's see. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll take it from there.